Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it. You already know. Like a torta with some bad habits. Bye. Bye. Did Doughboy really fake his death? How can you be someone who faked your death doing it in a celebrity fashion if you're not a celebrity? Was Swifty lying? Let's get to it. Let's hit that intro. Welcome back to the channel, and if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, make sure you go ahead and do that. If you haven't joined the memberships, make sure you do that. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that I stay kicking. And I appreciate all the support. I'm very humbled. Happy Saturday. Happy Super Bowl Eve. We're about to get it in. So yesterday, the internet went a little bit crazy. It started buzzing with the story of DOEBOI909 from San Bernardino, the IE area. Did he or did he not, is the million-dollar question, pass away? There's a lot of unconfirmed content that's out there saying that he did pass away. There's a lot of people that are solid with their thinking, saying that, yes, he did. And there's various stories going around about how and why he passed. Okay, I'm going to clear up a lot of that bullshit right now. I did a video yesterday because I seen it posted on, of course, Full Community. And usually they are the Raza TMZ. Whatever they say, 99.9% is pretty much accurate. Every once in a while, just like every other platform, you can get a little bit wrong. But first and foremost, I'll say shout out to them because I believe what they put out has a lot of truth behind it. Now, Swifty Blue, the notorious, the fucking outspoken Swifty Blue, put out a clip yesterday on Instagram, and he was saying, without a question of a doubt, that DOEBOI909 faked his death. Now, you ask yourself, what is the reasonings behind that? How can someone do that and carry the charade or the shenanigans on and nobody expose it? In this era that we live in, no matter what you do and how you do it, you got about 24 hours before everybody's antennas start going up and you're exposed. People are going to see you in public. There's no way to hide. Now, there's a couple other stories that have been quietly hidden for a while, and people are trying to get down to the bottom of it. One being the King Little G saga. Did he self-deport or did he not self-deport? A lot of people are screaming, just go live, go live. That man don't have to do nothing he don't want to do. If he's over there in Mexico, let him be. If he's in Inglewood, let him be. It's not up for everybody to get their questions answered all the time. If that man wants to expose where he's at and what he's doing in his life, that's totally up to him, and I respect it, okay? Even though we want to know. Now, I'll say this. When it comes to the Doughboy shenanigans, if he has truly passed away, this is a tactic utilized by people who didn't like him to kind of the last smut on his name. Kick the last dirt up on his name, because I do know at the time that he passed, and I do believe he passed, and I'll explain to you why. And I could be totally wrong, but I got a couple sources on the inside that are very close to the individual that said, yes, he did pass. Now, I have not been told the exact reasonings why. There's a lot of different stories. There's people that are kind of hoping, I guess, that he got removed or he got shot or he got smashed on based upon what dilemmas and what fucking things he was going through prior to his death. There's also another story saying that he succumbed to diabetes, which is kind of hits close to home, because I have diabetes, and I do understand there are days when you wake up and you do not feel like functioning, you do not feel correct, and anything can happen at any given time. And then, of course, there's also a story going around that I haven't seen circulated that much that said that he did have an infection in his arm or hand, and that is the reason why he came to his demise. He didn't take care of it. He wasn't as healthy as he should have been, especially with that process of eliminating the infection. At the end of the day, the stories are running wild, but let's truly look at it from a Swifty Blue aspect. Like Swifty says, this man faked his death. This man is trying to avoid a DP from his neighborhood or from his own people because of some of the situations he found himself in. Now, this is going to long lengths to avoid a DP. You know, especially if you're fucking with people's emotions. There's fans, there's family members that see it on the, might not be the immediate family, but the family, long distance family that see this type of stuff on the internet, and I'm sure are very concerned. Swifty Blue, who I assumed was his friend, who I assumed that hearing upon the passing of his friend would be a little concerned or a little less subjective. But I'll say this about Swifty: obviously they weren't getting along, because he did not restrain himself from being a disrespectful person in light of it being put out there that Doughboy was killed. He said he received several text messages, several phone calls of people asking about Doughboy. Was it true? What happened? Does he know? And of course, Swifty responded and replied swiftly and said, "Hey, man, it's my damn daughter's birthday party, bro. I'm just trying to chill and step out the way. Stop calling me with the bullshit. That motherfucker's a sucker and he faked his own death." Those were his words, not mine. My thing is why? Why would you fake your own death? I understand like a big celebrity like Prince or Michael or Elvis or Tupac or someone like that faking their death to get out of being a celebrity, to get away from all eyes on me, right? I understand that. But Doughboy is only locally famous. He's only known in San Bernardino, in his area in Southern California. It's not like this guy was a world-renowned master chef salting some shit up, right? No, the only thing getting salted up is the game, the story. People are putting a lot of salt in it. Now you open it up for interpretation. Now you open up the story to let people say whatever they want to say. And a lot of people will believe what they want to believe. I called one of my inside sources, man, someone that I know is in the music industry, that is tapped in with a lot of these rappers in Southern California. And I asked him straight up, "Bro, have you seen this shit with DOEBOI909? What do you think? Is it real?" He said, "Bro, I talked to one of his camaradas, one of his homeboys, and yes, there is some truth, some validity to it." I said, "Okay, well, if that's true, why are people not confirming it? Why is there so many different stories on what happened? Shouldn't it be cut and dry? Hey, the homie passed because of this, condolences, respect to him, and push on." And I guess what people are doing is they're making a bigger story out of the situation, because a lot of people are running around saying he was in bad standings at the end there. Now, what does bad standings mean? Within the gang, that means a lot. That means you fucked up somewhere along the line and you are considered no good in the hood. People that are from that area don't want you around. You are no longer welcome. Your fucking Chicano Express card is revoked. You can't do a Chicano U-turn, they say, over there on Indiana Street. You can't do any of that. You know what you got to do? You got to do a Chicano disappearing act and just bounce and get away. So is this a situation where maybe Doughboy found himself and did not, and should not, and did not want not to take that DP and say, "You know what? My life is over in my audio where I've once put in work, where I once was known. And in order to avoid what I have coming, which could be something very horrible and bad and detrimental to one's safety, let me throw out this little thing out there saying that I passed, and maybe Vatos will just forgive and forget that I forgave," right? It doesn't work that way. All you're going to do is upset more people, because you're making people waste 10 seconds of their life looking at a clip that says that you've passed. It's a situation that could only get worse, and it's a situation that people are kind of scratching their head about, wondering why Swifty Blue was so adamant in saying that fool faked his death. That basically that fool wants attention, or just wants to get away from the attention. Now, does Swifty Blue know something about Doughboy that we don't know? He was a harsh critique. It was a way of saying, you know what, this dude right here is just bullshitting all you guys, and you guys are sucking it up with the super straw like a gang of socas. I myself made a video on it because it was news and I wasn't sure. But like I said, I'm going to stand on what I believe. And the people that I tap in with are pretty deep in the game. I'll say that. And they said that man passed. So I'm going to believe that man passed until I see him smiling with the Glock stars. Then I'm going to be pissed. Then I'm going to have to question the validity of everyone that I fuck with's conversation. Truth. Now, I'll say this. Have I seen people try to fake their deaths in the past? I think we all have. In this day and age, it's 2026. You can't put nothing past anybody. But someone who's doesn't have celebrity status and is not as big as DOEBOI909 as far as, his music or his personality reaching the world, I don't get why. I don't get why not just If you're going to erase your Instagram, which he did, which kind of is an inkling and a clue that something ain't right, why wouldn't you just do that? Scratch all your music, scratch all your social media sites, and just move and disappear. Out of sight, out of mind. Time heals all wounds. Eventually, vatos are going to stop looking for you. Vatos are going to be like, all right, he boned out. The vato bounced. It is what it is. There might be a few people talking shit, but at the end of the day, who gives a fuck? As long as you're safe and secure, right? I learned that a long time ago. There's always going to be a few people talking shit. There's always going to be people. Look, even if it comes out that Doughboy did pass, people are still not going to believe it. It's tainted. And it's upsetting that someone's death is tainted. Because if this man did pass, truly, the focus should be more on his friends and his family and consoling them and sending your condolences rather than questioning, oh, why did he do this? And there's so many derogatory statements, so many derogatory DMs, so many derogatory messages out there where I've seen all these different social media platforms who have posted one way or the other. Some people saying that he faked his death, some people saying fake news, where others are saying there's true and, like I said, validity to it. And there's so many negative comments. People are like, who cares? It don't matter. This, and that. The world and the internet is vicious and violent, man. People with the keyboard are dangerous. And it's crazy that a narrative like this can get spun up and get out of control so bad. So I'm here to tell you, like I said, I tapped in with someone very close, and that's a fact. And he told me personally that Doughboy909 had passed and that they were for some reason trying to keep it as much under wraps as possible. Now, I question that a little bit because the initial statement that was put out there saying that he had passed was someone from his own camp. Someone very close to him and his circle was the ones that exposed game. That's where full community actually got their information from. So now it kind of makes me wonder, like, is this something that they're just planning? Maybe he's dropping a new album. Maybe he's going to be like, voila, I'm back, right? Because people don't like you playing with death. Death is not something to be played with at all. Ever, never, don't do it. There are some clues here. There are some things that make you say, that make you wonder. One is that a day prior to this announcement of his death, his Instagram was taken down. His social media was taken down, was erased. Vamuskis, right? Shoot the moon. Shoot the moon. It was gone. What happened? If this man had not passed, if nothing was wrong, why did this man get rid of his social media? Now, it could be due to a number of things if you really think about it. This man was going through some bullshit. He was going through some shit on the internet. There was people literally saying that he was in bad standings. He was no longer good. There are also people that are running around saying that he is locked up and PC'd up in the county jail as we speak. If that was the case, that's not hard to figure out. All you have to do is look his name up in the county jail, the surrounding county jails of Southern California, and best believe me, people will find out like that. So I'd say give it a day. I think by the end of today, it's this weekend, it's Super Bowl weekend. So Vatos might say, fuck that, I got the Patriots or the Seahawks, right? And they might wait till Monday. But if he is truly passed, like I said, man, my condolences don't stop to the family. I'm very sympathetic, but I'm just like everyone else. I'm questioning, especially when someone like Swifty Blue comes on and says, cap, fake news, bullshit. Let me get back to my daughter's birthday party. So basically, if you don't like someone, you can say everything that they do and everything that happens with them is fake. Now, if it does come out that he did pass, what is Swifty going to do now? And I got a lot of respect for Swifty Blue. I like his music. I like him as a person, man. I think he's a cool dude, right? And I think he was probably overwhelmed with someone he did not get along with answering so many questions. So took to the internet to just say, not bash him, but say, look, bro, I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I think that dude was fake all the way around. And I think that this is just some more of his fakery. But death is nothing to be played with. Like I said, if he did pass, you shouldn't say anything. If you don't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. Right. And then if he didn't, let him and his people be exposed for what they are. But people that are running around saying, oh, Swifty said it, so it's pura. They didn't even get along. I thought they were friends. Glock stars, right? I really was under the assumption that they were homeboys, but I guess, that's what's wrong with this era nowadays, man. And just the world, period. The same people that were your friends yesterday are not your friends tomorrow. It's a trick because, I come from an era, I think we all do that are around my age, a little bit older. It's friends for life, homie. You know, I still got homeboys that we was in the diapers together running around, riding motherfucking Hot Wheels, right? We were youngsters riding the big wheel. And now we've grown up and there's distance, but we're still homies, right? We're still friends. If we see each other in traffic, it's mean mug, shoulder shrugs, and a whole lot of hugs, right? It's different nowadays. Now it could be your fucking road dog, your camarada, the dude you're on social media with fucking twerking and doing videos and all kinds of crazy shit. And 2 weeks later, you don't like him. You don't like him because he wanted Ryan Garcia in the Barrios fight, right? It could be any little thing and people fall apart. Now, I understand with Swifty Blue, that's probably a hard camarada, a homeboy to fucking be friends with like that because he was going through so much bullshit. A lot of people didn't want to be a part of his bullshit. I'm not saying that was his falling out between him and Doughboy. It could have been a number of things. Could have been a money situation, a business situation, them being in the hip-hop rap game, right? Could have been a number of things. It's none of our business to really give a fuck. The whole basis of this is Swifty Blue said that dude faked his death. And like I said, I've talked to other people that say they call cap on that and say he did die. It's crazy because now his death is tainted. You got in this corner, you got the people that believe he did die. I'm in that corner. And in that corner, leading the OG of them all, Swifty Blue. That's good representation. The guys that say he did it, it's all cap, it's all fake. Look, one way or the other, I guess we're going to find out. But if he's faking his death to avoid a DP, some disciplinary actions by his barrio or by Sur gang, right? Bro, it's only a matter of time before someone sees you. Your teeth stand out. You know what I mean? They're going to see you, homie. And when they do, they're going to see you. You know, you can't avoid things that are coming. You can't avoid fate. You know, you can't avoid God's plan. Drake said it. Now look, he can't avoid the shit. He's getting called out A minor, right? All kinds of different shit. You can't avoid what's the inevitable. What you can do, though, is keep it real. And this would be an ultimate slap in the face to family and friends and fans to fake your own death. Now, if this guy is locked up and someone just playing with his social media and just throwing shit out there because they're mad at this dude and they're like, we're going to ruin his life, so we're going to smut him up and say he passed, that's how much they hate him. That's crazy. That's bad karma, bad juju coming back. To sit there and say someone is dead that isn't. That's wild. That's how bad AI and this era and this world has gotten nowadays, that someone passes and motherfuckers don't believe it. They got to question everything. Hey, fool, damn, that fool got shot there. Look at his brains. They're everywhere, right? The his brains, that's AI, fool, right? But it fucking happened right in front of me. Don't believe everything you see, fool. That's AI, right? Like, everything is questioned nowadays. No one wants to believe anything. And it's a crazy world to live in. You know, you can't believe paperwork. You can't take a person at his word because he'll say one thing in a video and then say another thing over here. Like, it's just such a disruptive world. Anyways, back to the topic at hand. Did Doughboy fake his death? Do you think it's that serious that he's that scared of what he's got coming? If he's got anything coming to fake his death? Do you think Swifty Blue was telling the truth? Do you think Swifty Blue even knew? Or do you think Swifty Blue, that was his last chance to kick dirt on this guy's name because they were no longer friends? They was friends when they was Glock stars, but all of a sudden, they're not. Look, I won't disrespect Swifty Blue. I don't know that man like that. I've always supported his music. But that's a fucked up thing to do on a vato. Like I said yesterday, man, in my video, once a person passes, their slate is clean. It's do-over time. Don't disrespect the dead. No longer go in on them and utilize your platform to disrespect them now that they can't defend themselves. Don't do that. Just let them go. If you have a story to tell that doesn't paint them in a good light, I mean, your story is your story. You can't always make everyone happy, right? But at the same time, this man just passed. His family's grieving and going through it. Don't say, man, this dude's fake. He faked that shit. You know, because guess what? Then people are going to turn on you if it is true. Or they're going to say, well, how do you know it's fake? Show us some paperwork that ain't AI, which nowadays no one can, and show us what it is. I don't know. Such a crazy thing. So let me know, what side of the aisle do you stand on? Do you believe that Doughboy faked his death? Do you believe that Doughboy didn't fake his death like me? Or do you believe, who gives a fuck? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to struggle and strive for what I truly believe in. That's the betterment of all people. This video right here is sponsored by Barrio Liquors out there in Turlock, California, the Central Valley 209 area. If you're in the area, go get you something icy cold to drink. Tell Lolly I said what's up. Don't tell him I sent you, but tell him I said what's up, man. That's what we do. That's how we do it. Also, sponsored by Sticks and Stones Yard Service in Arizona. If you're in the AZ area, Google the homeboy from Sticks and Stones Yard Service. Have him pull up and hedge some shit. For reals. Tarraza, we always got you. Oh, we got you. Swifty, who you got? It's crazy.